That's been a misinformation thing that I've been seeing too, is people saying nothing in ZA can be transferred out of ZA. And
No.
that's
Okay.
not what they said. They just said once it hits ZA, it can't. And I don't know if this is 100%, like, the Pokemon Company has not said this is why, so I cannot definitively say it's why. But I think most people have surmised that the reason that is because now they have a new language available in this game. I forget what it is. I think it's Latin
Oh, like
American,
yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Whereas
What?
before it was like Spain Spanish. And so the reason that throws things off is because literally there is an extra layer of code to these Pokemon now, right? Like there's an extra, like some people actually collect Pokemon from the different languages. Like they're like, oh, I have a Magikarp that's from, that's English, that's French, that's Japanese. And so now since they're adding another language, there's an extra layer of code. And so once you send a Pokemon into that game, its code changes because there's a code change. And so it's like, it can't be sent back because that language does not exist in Scarlet and Violet, in Sword and Shield, and all that.
Sure,
So
I guess that makes sense logistically.
it sucks. It does suck, but also, like, if the greater good is more people able to play Pokemon games in a way that they enjoy it and in a way that, it's easier to digest for them, I think huge
No,
win.
that's definitely a good thing. I think
I
people
don't
were
understand. I feel like this is a normal thing that happens in every game. I don't know how people expect to move them back to older games. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird to me.
no. Wait. Explain that. Wait, no. You don't
There's
understand how
there's
that's an
no
expectation?
controversy. Yeah, there's no controversy for me. Like, you're gonna be able to move anything that you catch in here to home. Like, I think people are confused about that, but you can move anything in ZA to home. You just can't move anything from ZA to older games.
I'll tell you
I
so.
don't understand.
People. So I don't know when this happened. It was after Scarlet and Violet, but I think it was really exciting that all of a sudden we could now transfer Pokemon from Generation 9 into Generation 8. Like, that was really cool, right? The idea that we have all of these Switch titles and you can actually transfer Pokemon in and out of them freely. Like, to me, that was the final vision of these, like, Pokemon games being all separate experiences within the same universe, right? Within the same, like, right? Because it's like from the very beginning, Ash region hops, and that's what we're all like. That's the imaginary perfect game in our mind, that you can go to all these different regions. I don't really know if that'll probably never happen, and I don't even know if that'll be a good game. But the way I fulfill that in my mind, and I think a lot of players do, is that you can take Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, and if they are in Sword and Shield, you can transfer them in, and it's kind of fun to be like, to just treat all these games as like, I used to say, like, to blur the lines between generations, right? It's like there's just a Switch era. And I get it. I guess it's not so controversial. We are entering the Switch 2 era. So the Switch era games were a quote-unquote, or could be considered a generation, right? But now we're entering the Switch 2 era. So I guess there's no controversy for me. Like, I'm not upset because I think I like what you said, Lumi, and because we're going to the Switch 2, I think there's going to be new things added in Generation 10 that make basically all these games kind of more easily compatible, right? All the Switch 2 games, and how there will be fundamentally different from the Switch games. Like the data within the Switch 2 Pokemon are going to be different from, and just incompatible with the Switch Pokemon games. But I think maybe why people are upset, it's that same Dexit thing. It's like, great, we have all Pokemon available in Pokemon Home, and you can get every Pokemon and play with every single Pokemon in every single game. But now, when Generation 10 comes out, they're basically drawing that line where it's like, well, guess what? You can move Pokemon up, but you can't move Pokemon back, which makes that Generation 10 game feel a little hollow. And I guess that doesn't matter, because you can actually battle with those Pokemon and champions, and you can do your RPGs and your fun experimental adventures, and it's action based in the Legends titles, and Generation 10 will be a hub. And I don't know, we're going to see something else in Generation 10 that we've never even seen before. They're going to continue to move stuff, like, just to change things up. I think we just I don't know. It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Does any of that resonate? Does any of that resonate?
Yeah, I understand.
I totally. I felt that myself. I've actually, like, I have gone on Sword and Shield and, like, played on Sword and Shield with, like, Pokemon that I just have in home because I can, and so I do think that there is a lot of appeal to that. But, like, my thing is, it's Champions is, for me, solving a lot of those issues. Like, one thing I think is, it allows me to access these gimmick forms, like Gigantamax forms and Mega Evolution and all this. Well, Champions is going to solve that issue for me. so I'm not too pressed about it. And again, the explanation I have seen people come up with is that it's because of adding this new language.
Yeah.
And that, in my opinion, that's, if that's the sacrifice,
Yeah, maybe that
that's
makes
a worthy
sense.
sacrifice.
Yeah, maybe that makes sense. Yeah. Because to me,
for me, it's it's kind of fringe. For me, it feels fringe, but I guess it's not. I would be like, who takes Pokemon from newer games and plays them in older games? I just don't get it. I don't do that.
I mean, so I do. Yeah, I think your opinion on this is pretty fringe and specific. I think you've made it very clear.
I feel like it's the opposite. I'm like, who does that? Like,
yeah, but
who
you
actually does that?
Yeah, but
it's weird to me.
But because you don't replay games,
I feel like it's minimal.
But you don't replay games.
Yeah, even if I did, I would use the Pokemon that are in the game. I'm so confused about
I don't
thing.
do that. I don't know. I don't think most people do that. I have friends who like literally plan their team, transfer stuff, and I've always been like, "Ooh, I want to replay this game with a really specific, Pokemon team that I can only get." And it's like it's just it's like a freedom thing. It's like for me, like you can imagine that a Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet that is in Sword and Shield, why can't you transfer it in, right? Why can't you move it into Legends Arceus? Why not, right?
I just see no point, but yeah. I see no point. But yeah, I know.
It's a freedom thing.
Me.
It's a freedom thing.
It's shocking to me that there's a big group of people that are like that. That's the most shocking
were
thing,
you upset? Were you upset about Dexit? I'm just playing with the
No,
idea.
not really. Not
yeah, exactly. So it's the same mentality.
Can I give my hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know what percentage of Pokemon fans are upset about this, but of the amount that are upset about this, so if we're looking at a group where 100% of people are upset about this, I think that 60% of them are upset because of what Dusty said, and 40% of them are upset because they found a reason to be upset.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
because they're like believing that they can't move them out of ZA ever again. Like I saw a tweet that was like, if you move your Pokemon into ZA, they will be locked there forever. I'm like, no.
We had a comment on one of those videos that y'all did where someone said that.
Yeah,
and I saw that and I was like, what? And I looked and I was like, it's not said anywhere. Why are people saying that?
That's what we need.
And I do think you'll
Louis.
be able to move them into future games. Like I don't think that they're just going to be locked forever in ZA or home. Like I think they will be able to be.
You'll be able to move it up into Gen 10.
You know what this does
and
tell me
Champions.
though? There's going to be a lot more connective tissue between Legends ZA and Generation 10. I think that real-time combat is... Listen, I had a vision.
That's
I had a
something
vision
too that I've seen people say is there could be like some moveset and stat overhauls with Legends ZA and Champions, and that could also be causing problems.
Yeah, I think I know what the Generation 10 game is going to be. I think I figured it out.
Well, let's say that for another time because we got to get moving.
Not just
here.
the setting. Not just the setting.
Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle.
Not
Three
just
versions.
Not just the setting.
Kanto.
Not just whatever. I'm like literally. I think I've pinpointed it. It makes so much sense. It's based on the leaks, but I'm like
Let's talk about it tomorrow when we talk with everybody.
No, I think I'm gonna save it for a video, and then I'll talk about it with you guys.